Howdy, soldiers. I scraped my neck when I was holding up books for the thumbnail, and now it looks like I'm the victim of a vampire attack. The hazards of the job, I guess. This is so cozy. I have like a sweater on, and I'm sitting down on my couch, and like it's just me and you and my ring light. I'm sitting down tonight because I recently got a thigh tattoo, and let me tell you, if you have not booked off the next day from work, from life, after getting a thigh tattoo, you should. It's been a couple days and I still can't stand for long periods of time. Rachel, are you drinking gin? No. Oh no, you caught me. It's been a long week, folks, and I'm sure, like many people out there, I need to just sit down and like talk about something happy. So I thought it'd be fun to do a book haul today because I've acquired some, mostly by accident because I stress bought some stuff, and then also because publishers have been sending me some things lately and they're all very exciting and I want to talk about them. You know that whole thing of like, I'd sell my left kidney to be able to get an advance copy of that book? Like, I didn't have to shell out my internal organs at all. Like, Tor just keeps sending me stuff. And that's the best part, really, because I would like to keep all my internal organs inside my body where they should be. Though I do have a history of my internal organs trying to escape their bonds, hence why I have chronic pelvic pain. Well, I guess that's enough preamble. Without further ado, grab a drink, grab a snack, and buckle in while we do a good old-fashioned late-night book haul. Well, first, I guess we're just gonna talk about the thing that I most recently got that I'm most excited about, and that is I got an amazing PR box from Bloomsbury. Actually, I still have it, 1 second. I was lucky enough to receive one of the very highly coveted Defend the Dawn PR boxes, so thank you, Bloomsbury, you are hooking a girl up. And in that box, which I unboxed on my TikTok, among other things were 2 beautiful bound finished copies of Defy the Night and Defend the Dawn. Do you see that rainbow sparkle? Ooh, she's an ally! In case you don't know, Defy the Night and now the sequel, Defend the Dawn, follow 2 characters, Tessa and West, in a loose Robin Hood retelling where the 2 of them are trying to gain access to medical supplies for the lower classes while also getting themselves caught in the middle of a political rebellion at the palace. Now, I like Tessa as our main character, but what really sold me on this was getting to see the perspectives of Prince Coric and Prince Harristan. It's been a long time since I have read such a well-crafted, sympathetic, male royal character, and I love the dynamic that all 3 of them have. I personally read it for all the interpersonal connections, like the medicine plotline. I'm like, yeah, whatever, I want to see them all interact with each other. Put them back in like an awkward family dinner. I love that. So Defend the Dawn, I believe, is out now. So thirdly is a book that I bought myself that I happened to pick up when I wandered aimlessly into an Indigo, which was my first mistake. Always go into a bookstore with a solid idea in mind of where you are going, because I'm not responsible for what happens when I'm let loose without a plan. Foul Lady Fortune by Chloe Gong is the consequence of that action. I got the exclusive Indigo edition that has red pages. Ooh! I'm a big fan of Chloe Gong, loved these violent delights, and Foul Lady Fortune is a follow-up companion novel that is set after the events of Our Violent Ends. We get to follow previous side character Rosalind as she has been given this mysterious medical treatment, and it's made it so that she cannot die. And so through this and the rebel forces of the last couple books, she's now like a secret agent spy. She's set up in a fake arranged marriage with another spy to be able to help solve a series of murders in Shanghai. And I'm like, goddamn, doesn't that just sound amazing? Chloe Gong is one of those people that makes me feel very insecure and insignificant, because I'm like, she's like 4 or 5 years younger than me, and I'm like, what have I done with my life? I don't know. I don't have a best-selling trilogy. What the hell? And somehow, magically, mystically, I have managed to avoid spoilers for this on the internet, which is a small miracle unto itself. But I have seen a lot of my BookTalk friends like tabbing the shit out of this, so I know that I am in for a wild ride. Okay, so this was a book that I actually went in for. This book cost me so much money. I had to order it specially, and it took forever to freaking get here, so this better be freaking worth it. I bought a copy of Silver Under Nightfall by Rin Chupeco. Indigo said, "Would you like some Chinese polyam vampires?" And I said, "Do you remember my credit card number?" Our main character is Remy, who is a half-vampire hunter who is estranged from the hunter's clan because of like something bad his mom did. But then maybe there's this new type of vampire in town, so he's sent on a mission to go and find her, and then he runs into a vampire and her fiance who are also investigating this new type of vampire that's like maybe a virus or like a mutation of some kind. So it's like sci-fi, neo-noir, vampire, revenge story, polyam, vampire hunters extravaganza. And also, do you see how gorgeous this cover is? See, like, the towers in his eye and, like, the multiple thing, the blood, just, ugh. This cover says, my passion is graphic design, but it also says, I have taste. Now, this next book is an example of how even influencers can be influenced, because I bought a copy of Thistlefoot by Jenna Rose Nethercott. This is a contemporary magic realism Jewish retelling of Baba Yaga, and when I heard that, I was like, put it in the cart! So many of my BookTalk friends have been recommending this one, especially Bree from Hobbit's Library. So this is Bree's fault. Thank you, Bree, for helping me out of 40 of my Canadian dollars. When two estranged siblings are called together to receive an inheritance, it turns out the inheritance is odder than they thought, for it is a sentient house with chicken legs named Thistlefoot. And magic and memories from the Yaga siblings' bloodline are now awakening, and there are people after them and mysteries to solve. Like, I'm guaranteed to love this. If I don't, I'm gonna sue Bree. No, that's... I promise to not press charges, don't worry. Another spooky, scary read for October was sent to me by Tor. Thank you, Tor. And unfortunately, this is an advance copy, so you can't get this until November. But I'm under the impression that spooky season is all year round. I got sent a copy of The Luminaries by Susan Dennard, and I'm so excited. In the small, isolated forest town of Hemlock Falls, the only thing keeping you safe from the nightmares of the surrounding forest is this ancient society of guardians called the Luminaries. And our main character, Winnie, is an exile of the Luminaries, but in an attempt to restore her family name, she decides to take part in these deadly hunter trials on her 16th birthday. But then in the process coming up to it, and some help from her ex-best friend, they uncover this plot, and there's more mystery and nightmare in the forest than they thought. You know me, I love bone magic, and a good sentient forest just really gets me going. Plus, this book has really interesting origins, where she started writing it as kind of a choose-your-own-adventure on Twitter for writing prompts, and then the story was over, and she turned it into a book. So the input and story development of her audience is like what made this book what it is, and I can't wait to see what the final product is. Oh, I overestimated myself in this sweater. It was still 28 degrees outside today, and it's October, so love that global warming, but now I'm really warm. But if anything, I will commit to the aesthetic, so we're keeping the sweater on for today's cozy October book haul. The most recent thing Tor sent me is this phantasmagorical copy of Second Spear by Kirsten Hall. So this is a standalone novel, but it's in the same world as Kirsten Hall's Macallis cycle. And our main character, Tin, is a retired warrior who is like questioning her gods. But when an old enemy returns to the kingdom, she is swept up in a path to destruction, and she has to figure out her identity and like what and who she believes in. And like, this book is checking all my boxes. You know, it's like, God warriors? Check. Demon realms? Check. Hot ladies with swords? Check. I mean, I guess it's more of a spear, because second spear, but you know what? I'll take it. Full disclosure, I am in a bit of a reading slump right now, but that's nice and short, so hopefully this will get me out of it. So this next book is also short and may get me out of a reading slump in a very different way, because I was sent The Dark King by Gina Maxwell by Entangled. I had seen this novel like floating around on BookTalk, and the only thing that I knew about it was that it was smutty, and I was like, you know what? I've picked up books knowing less. But then when I got the package and I actually read the back of it, because, you know, I can read, smutty fairy kings who were also billionaires in Vegas. Our main character, Bryn, goes for a night of partying, gets drunk, and wakes up married to a billionaire named Caden who owns the hotel and most of the city, and then surprise, he's also like a dark fairy lord, and now she's like queen of a fairy world and has to maneuver fairy court politics. In my brain, billionaire Vegas casino owners and Dark Lord fairy politics are like, that is not even close to a Venn diagram. Those are two completely different circles. Okay, well now I'm thinking about it, that if that was a Venn diagram, the middle overlap would be smut. And while usually billionaire romances fill me with the same type of enthusiasm as biting into a really soft grape, this is just ridiculous enough that I think it might work. So subscribe and hit the bell for when I put up my eventual reading wrap-up with this in it. Oh yes, and this is an advanced copy, but it is out now. Next up is another spooky, autumnal, thematic, gothic novel that I was sent by Scholastic. And let me just say as a quick side note, 8-year-old Rachel, you know, deep inside me, who loved the Scholastic Book Fair more than anything in the world, is like losing her shit right now. Like, Scholastic Books follows me online. I've made it. I got sent a copy of The Whispering Dark by Kelly Andrews, which is a paranormal gothic novel with a deaf main character who can maybe talk to ghosts, ? And this dark academia, paranormal, enemies to lovers murder mystery sounds really freaking cool, and I'm obsessed with this cover. Like, I work in academia, and I've never come across something quite like this. Fortunately or unfortunately, I don't think my institution is haunted. Oh, my tattoo's leaking. Oh, that's gross. Okay, hold on, I'll be right back. This is gonna be gross, so if you get squicked out about, like, fluids at all, you're not gonna like this. But do you guys want to see a tattoo that started to bleed ink? I'm sure you do. See how weird and gross that is? Yeah, it's beautiful, but it's also, like, disgusting. This is out November 1st, so if you want to keep the Halloween spirit going, and you want something post-Halloween to do with your friends, go pick this up. Oh my god, I'm, like, looking at my pile of books being like, wow, that's so weird. I have so many, like, spooky books to talk about this month. It's because it's fucking October. I literally ran face first into The Point, and I didn't even notice. So the next spooky book to talk about is one I was sent by Tiny Ghost Press, and that is My Name is Magic by Shan Van Ruyen. This is a lower YA Finnish folklore story about Taika, who is non-binary, and they come from a long line of magic users, but for some reason they themselves have no magic, and they're at this, like, magic user academy, and students start going missing, and then they have to journey to, like, the Finnish underworld, the liminal space between dimensions, with somebody else, that guy there. What's that guy doing there? I don't know. Harry Potter, but not transphobic. School for Good and Evil, but make it Finnish. I'm like, oh, that seems pretty cool. I haven't read anything with Finnish folklore before, and I think younger YA is something that is neglected in YA spaces, so I'm excited to give this a shot. Also, the cutest fucking thing about this imprint is that they have their logo there, and then asterisk, actual size! Okay, what next? Space gaze? Space gaze. The next two things are two very gay space operas that were both sent to me by Tor. Tor owns my soul and most of my bookshelves, which are basically the same thing. So first up is a beautiful finished copy of The Genesis of Misery by Neon Yang. This is a sci-fi fantasy mashup retelling of Joan of Arc, where our main character uses she, they pronouns and can maybe talk to beasts of the null void space, where Misery frauds herself into being this fake messiah for a space cult, and then because of that gets herself mixed up in these political machinations of the capital of the galaxy while falling for an empiric princess and realizing they're gonna have to fight their way out one way or another. It sounds so freaking cool, and I swear this cover is my honest to god fetish. Jacket art by Angela Wang and jacket design by Leslie Worrell. Ladies, hit me up. This is so beautiful. How is this so beautiful? I'm not just saying that because I finished most of this can. And then the other one is no less gay, but I'm assuming more romantic, and that is that, oh, I'm still so freaking stoked that I got an actual copy of this. I got an advanced copy of Ocean's Echo by Everina Maxwell. She is the author of Winter's Orbit, which is this beautiful romantic political sci-fi, and this follows two different characters but is set in the same world. Planet? Universe? A military coup becomes a civil war, the nephew of a powerful politician and the son of a notorious traitor general are forced together to unravel a political scheme dating back decades. And like, I'm on board for that. From reading Winter's Orbit, she does tension so incredibly well that I'm like, I'm ready for this to just be fully tense. I'm ready to just be like this. I'm ready to send her my chiropractic bill after I finish reading this book. Which actually reminds me that I need to book a massage therapy appointment because I've been putting it off for like a whole year, and the knots in my shoulders are like industrial grade. One of my ex-boyfriends once went to massage my shoulders and went, "Why is it crunchy?" I'm ready for pining. I'm ready for power play. I'm ready for politics. And goddammit, I'm ready for some frickin' space romance. Because I need some romance in my life. I'm on dating apps, and that is a null void space, let me tell you. This also comes out in November. Before we do second last, I feel like I need another sip of my gin smash. Delightful. So second last is something I recently got sent by Sourcebooks, and like Sourcebooks, they know my taste, and FedEx knows my mailing address. Now this book is extra special because it doesn't even come out till next year. You're gonna have to wait multiple months for this, and for that I am sorry, because this does sound pretty freaking cool. And that is The Stranded by Sarah Daniels, which is a dystopian novel that takes place on a cruise ship. So it's almost the 22nd century, and there was this virus that obliterated some of the world, maybe, we don't know yet. And then there's this luxury cruise liner that everyone's been stuck on for 40 years, and they're not allowed to leave the ship. And our main character, of course, gets an opportunity to leave the ship to go to land, and then once we're there, oh wow, actually there's a rebellion, and like the world still exists, but like to what degree and in what condition. Now I know that during this apocalypse, I'm assuming that we're kind of busy, you know, we're busy not dying, we're busy keeping ourselves somewhat sane. We're trying to find every last bit of gravel on that ship. But you're telling me not once in that 40 years that someone like couldn't have taken a Mr. Clean magic eraser or something to like the side of the ship. You need to take care of your vessel. And I'm seeing that the cleaning crew is lacking. Dystopias are back, baby. And I don't quite know how to feel about that. Though I have never read a dystopia on a cruise ship. So that's new and interesting. I don't know if I would survive very well with that because I do like seafood, but I have very bad seasickness, so not quite sure how that would overlap. This comes out January 2023, so we're 1 year closer to this particular apocalypse. And then lastly is a book that they looked me up and down. They tried to seduce me. They put the moves on me because this book is maybe the most beautiful thing that I have laid eyes on this year. Talking about Belladonna by Adeline Grace. Now don't get me wrong, you see this cover and you're like, Rachel, that's very beautiful. You know, I love the flowers and like silver foiling, very in right now. But let's like kind of, you know, I've seen something like this before, you know, not the be all end all. Oh, wait, my friends, you haven't seen it naked. This book without the dust jacket is freaking stunning. Oh my god, it's so fucking beautiful. And the party does not stop. Look at the front pages. Once again, credit where credit is due. Jacket art by Elena Maski. Jacket design by Jenny Kimura. Ladies, you are allowed to join the party that I'm throwing for the other two people who designed Genesis of Misery. You're all invited. This is a new adult gothic following Signa, who is orphaned as a baby, but then when she turns 19, it turns out that she has these reclusive relatives named the Hawthorne family, and they are suffering from the death of their mother, and the daughter is suffering from a mysterious illness. But then the mother's ghost turns up to Signa saying that she was murdered, and so Signa teams up with, I think it's the stable boy. So she and the stable boy team up to hunt a killer and uncover the mysteries of her family. I also heard that the character of Death is personified in this book, and like, oh, interest has been piqued. I love a good Death and the Maiden motif, you know, what classical lit major doesn't? So Adeline Grace, I am ready to be impressed. And that is that on that. Now, I'm sure you saw in the thumbnail of me holding up all these, but like, for context, this is like, this is like as tall as my torso. This is a torso's worth of books. Thank you all for joining me this evening. Please leave down below if you yourself have read any of these or you're excited for any of these. How do you feel about dystopians coming back on trend? Because I'm not quite sure about that one. But vampires, though, I'm okay with that. Like, leave a good vampire rec down below. I'm so ready for Bloodsuckers to make a comeback. I fully admit that I overbooked myself for October, and now I am reaping the consequences of my actions. So we're filming this late at night because I still wanted to film this. But goddamn, am I tired? I need to, like my therapist says, like take a step back every once in a while and just let myself do nothing. So besides getting a new job, I am also one of the hosts for the Read Queer History Month Readathon that I'm putting on with some of my other book talkers, so I will leave the link to that down below. Also, all of you are looking at one of the new TikTok marketing leads for BookTalk event 2023, so that's very fun. If you don't know, BookTalk, T-A-L-K, is a nonprofit book organization that does like author panels and signings and Instagram lives and like book promotion. So yeah, I'm part of their marketing team now, and you can go check that out. I will leave all the links in the description. And on top of that all, I decided that I'm going to sew my Halloween costume because A, I don't want to spend money on it, and B, I really want to make a dress, and having the October 51st, oh no, having the date of October 31st gives me both an excuse and a deadline to make this dress that I've been wanting to make for a little while. So I've been up late cutting out pattern pieces. And I'm actually having a lot of fun, doing a new hobby, which is sewing. I've sewed for my whole life, but just recently picked it up again. And I'm just having fun doing it and like not filming it. And so, you know what? Take that, therapist who says that I should take more time for myself to discover my hobbies and not tie it directly to my worth. Yeah, there. So what now? But low-key, if you follow me online, you're probably gonna see the dress eventually anyways, because I've already pre-saved a million Halloween sounds to use on TikTok. Planning on a little bit of a longer outro, but honestly, this like plastic that's on my tattoo is driving me insane. So I wanna go have a shower and take it off, because it's finally time to release my skin from this second skin plastic prison that it's been in for the last couple days. You know where to click to like the video. You know where to click to subscribe. I hope you guys are all having a nice day wherever you are, and I will see you all next week. Bye!